Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a very spicy topic, the topic of my Barbies. Just kidding, this video is not about Barbies, this video is about if I will ever self-publish. Cue the cute intro. Just kidding, you've already seen it. I just drank a bunch of water and it made me burpy. I made some like little notes so I can remember what to talk about, so if you see me looking down, that is why, because I always struggle with articulating myself in a way that I think makes sense and is articulate. That's why I sometimes just struggle to say things. I don't know. So I made a list so I can remember things to talk about. You might have seen these videos from Lindsay Puckett made a video, Laura Wrights made a video, and then I did a live stream with Alexa Dunn, those two, and Lizelle Stanberry, and we all talked about why we were pursuing or already are in traditional publishing. So I'm gonna go ahead and link all those below and all those people, they're all amazing. So if you want more context as to why people choose traditional publishing or what I said in that video, which I'm gonna repeat some of the things in this video, what I said in the live stream, you can go watch those or you can just watch this one because I'm going to talk about if I'll ever self-publish and why. So let me go ahead and start. That water I just tried made me real burpy and I'm sorry. I'm disgusting. Let me start by saying I am agented. I have an agent named Rena Rossner and she's great. She told me when I first signed with her that she was willing to rep and try to sell anything that I write. Now, at the time, was she thinking that I was going to write something really crazy and out of genre? I don't know. Probably not. But the thing is that anything that I write, it wouldn't be right for me because I already have an agent. So this is another thing, is you have to keep that in mind that I do have an agent. So my view on this is gonna be a little skewed because there is a second party that is involved in this. Is that if I wrote anything, it wouldn't be right for me to just go out and self-publish it without even talking to her about it. Well, it's not in my contract, I don't have to or anything, but I think that it would set up a weird precedence in this working professional relationship that you have. Especially since she already told me she's willing to try and sell and rep anything I've written, to then be like, well, guess what, I'm gonna go behind your back and self-publish it. I think would be kind of putting a barrier in and not burning a bridge, because you still have that professional relationship, but I think that it would be weird, in my opinion, to do that without at least talking to your agent first. Oh my god, this water is trying to kill me with the burps. I think it'd be weird. I think it'd be weird to go behind her back and do it without talking to her first. So why is my hair doing this? I showered earlier and it's like, we're gonna do whatever we want. I think that's where I'm starting off in the thought process of, will I self-publish? It's like, okay, first I have to check with my agent because I don't know, maybe I would pitch a book to her and she'd be like, nah, I'm cool. Go ahead and do whatever you want with that. Which might happen, I don't know, you know? It hasn't happened yet, but it could. That's where I wanna start this conversation and keep that in mind as we go. I dropped my paper. Lord Jesus. I think I just threw up my back. I do have a book that I have talked about a long time ago, and I never gave details, but I call it the soapbox book. And it's something that is very outside the norm for books. How it would be published, how it would be written, all kinds of stuff would be very, very, very outside the norm. And I don't think it would sell traditional publishing. I don't think it would even make it in traditional publishing, even like if someone did want to buy it. I don't think that it would sell, or it would be very confusing to people in the traditional publishing sense, I think. And for that, I think that it lends itself really well though, also to be self-published. I think that would do really well. I really do. Like, I think that, I can't tell you why it would do well with self-publishing unless I were to tell you, like, unless I were to basically spoil things about it. But I think that it would do really well. Granted, I don't know if I'll ever end up writing it because I have so many other projects, and because I'm trying to get traditionally published, and I do have an agent. The things I'm writing are things that I think she can sell, or things that you know, she thinks she could sell, because I talked to her like, here's my ideas, you know? The idea of putting all this time and effort into this other thing that I know won't go that way. I mean, who knows? Maybe she would say it. I don't think it would. So it's something that I maybe will self-publish someday. Probably not. I don't know. I'll never say never. You don't know. But on that same like train of thought, I do have an idea for a superhero book, and everyone knows. Superhero books in YA don't sell. I mean, they sell. There are some people that are exceptions, but for the vast majority of them, Alpha, what are you doing on my desk? Hey, turd. For the majority of books that are superhero based, they either don't get an agent or they don't sell, or if they do sell, they don't do very well. And you know, like I said, there are exceptions. Marissa Meyer, I believe, had like a superhero book without calling it superheroes. So even though I have an idea for a superhero book, I don't think that would ever be traditionally published. It's just not something that does well in traditional publishing. And so sure, if I ever wrote that someday, I think that my agent would still try to sell it because she specializes in young adult, so that's something that I think she would be like more inclined than my other idea, which is an adult, to try and sell it, but I don't think it would sell. And at that point it's like, you know, I don't know. Do I I don't know. So I think what it really comes down to is, would I ever self-publish a book that doesn't normally sell in traditional publishing? Like either genre-wise or cross-genre or something like that. And yes, in a world, yes, I might attempt to self-publish one of those. There are a couple of caveats to that though. Will I ever actually write them because I do traditional publishing? I'm gearing myself towards writing those books. You know what I mean? So if I were ever to really get the drive to write one of those other ones that I think needs to go to traditional publishing, I mean self-publishing, then possibly, yes. But for now, I'm really focusing on my traditional publishing books because I know that that's like where I'm trying to put my energy. Basically, the reason why I think that one of the main reasons I'm trying to do traditional publishing, which again, I've talked about in the Live with Alexa and all the others, is that I know what kind of work, especially now that I joined AuthorTube. Since I joined AuthorTube, I've seen the amount of work that self-publish / indie publish people do. And I don't think I'm capable of doing it. I really don't. I admire people that can. I see people like Becca C. Smith and the Courtney Project who do self-publishing, and I don't think that I am on the kind of level to be able to do that. I do suffer from an anxiety disorder and from clinical depression. On top of that, a chronic illness. So I'm not saying that people that have those things can't self / indie publish. They definitely can. I just know me personally, I know my boundaries. I know what I'm capable of doing. And do I think I'm capable of, you know, cover design and editing and formatting my books and back copy and promoting and marketing and I don't think I'm capable of doing it. I really don't. And I wish that I was. I wish my brain worked like that. I don't think I'm capable of doing it. I really don't. And so that's why I'm afraid that if I were to try and self / indie publish something, that it wouldn't do well because I don't have a huge platform either, which not saying you have to have a huge platform, obviously. Like you don't have to have a huge YouTube channel or Twitter or Instagram to do well, but that would, help at least because I'm not good at marketing. That like if I had like 1 million subscribers, then maybe, my self-published book would do okay without me having to do marketing. So obviously you don't need that, but at least that would be like an advantage, but I don't even have that. So I just don't think I'm capable of putting all that into it because my brain, my brain doesn't work like that. That's really the big reason why I think that I want to stick to traditional publishing is that I have to write, sure. And there is a little bit of marketing that goes in it. I did a whole video chat with my friend Adam Sass, and one of the things he said that a lot of traditional publishing people don't keep in mind is that you do have to do marketing yourself for your book. Like your publisher will do some marketing, but you still have to do marketing. It's not gonna, like, you don't just get to write and sit back. Like that's just not how it works anymore. And so I know that, but the main part of what you have to do in traditional publishing is just write the book. And I have to send it to my agent and she sends me edits, and then an editor, if they were to buy it, have to send me edits and etc, etc. But there's things like cover design I don't have to worry about, copy editing I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about finding a good copy editor or paying a good copy editor because the publisher does all that. They front all that, And that's something that I think that I need as a writer and a person to get by on my everyday life because again, my brain does not work like that, and I don't think it would be able to, which is one of the reasons why I'm really scared. Like if I were to ever write one of the cross genres or the Soapbox Project book, I don't know if I'd be good at it. Sure, I could write it, but like, then what, So yeah, I have one last note to talk about, and it's books I've already written. Would I ever self-publish books I've already written that didn't sell traditional publishing? And something that I want to really firmly say is I don't believe that self / indie publishing should be a backup. I don't think that you should try and traditionally publish, let's say like you have 10 books go out on submission and you don't sell them. I don't think you should just be like, all right, well, that didn't work out. I'm gonna slap them all up on self-publishing. I'm not saying you can't do it, but I don't think it should be your backup. I don't think it should be like a backup plan. For me, the way I look at it is, let's say I have 10 books that I try to traditionally publish, and then I go back and I'm like, you know what? This isn't working out for me. Let me look at self-publishing. Editing Kevin coming at you. I don't think I explained myself very well in this section, so I'm just gonna go ahead and insert a clip here that the way I look at it is indie publishing / self-publishing should not be a backup to traditional publishing. I don't think that you should just slap them up, and I apologize if I'm going to repeat myself in this. I probably will because this is a little discombobulated, but I don't think you should just slap them up without looking at them, without editing them, without revisiting them, and asking yourself, I know I say this in another video, but like, why didn't it sell? Do you honestly believe that it would appeal to readers? And if so, then explore your options of self-publishing. But I don't think that you should do it just because you couldn't make it in traditional publishing, if that makes sense. I don't think that it should just be like a way to fulfill this need in you, that to slap it up, not try at all. I think that you need to make sure you're putting in the work of revisiting them, re-editing them, actually put in the work that goes along with self-publishing to get a good copy editor, to get a good cover and format it well. Like, don't just slap it and be like, yay, I'm gonna get readers. Like, it's not the easy way out. And I don't think it should be treated like an easy way out, because there's a lot of work that goes with self-publishing. So I guess really what it comes down to for me is that if I had 10 books in the future, I know that it would be a lot of work. And so I would have to ask myself if I'm willing to put in that work, because I don't think anyone should. And I don't want to just slap something up that I think is just an easy way out, so that way I could be published. You know what I mean? I think that you need to put in the work. If you're going to self/indie publish, you need to put in the work and not treat it like it's second rate. But I don't think that you should just quickly slap them all up and be like, I'm self-publishing them, you know, like in the next 3 months I'm gonna have 10 books up. I think that you should go back, you know what I mean? I think you should go back to them, think about them in a fresh mind, and decide, like, is this worth self-publishing? Why didn't it sell traditionally published? And I think that you really just need to ask yourself, do I love this book? Do people need to read it? Like, is this like just one of those things that like, I need people to read this because this, like, I love this story, and you know, a lot of people, that's what they want. They want people to read their writing. So if this is something that you really love, but again, I just don't think it should be a backup plan. I don't think it should be something that's like, oh, well, this is, if this didn't work out, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be that. It should be its own, like, thing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Having said that, I think that you kind of got my idea of where I stand with it. I admire people that can self-publish. I really do. I wish I understood your brain. Like, I'm watching people like Emily Bourne kill it, and I'm just like, girl, I don't know how you do this. I really don't. I can't do it. At least I don't think I could. Who knows for the future? In regards to, what is the word here I'm thinking of? Hybrid publish, in terms of hybrid publishing. Am I for it, against it, whatever? For me personally. Again, this is all my opinion. This is all my opinion, no one else's. This is not, you know, you should do this, you should do this. This is not at all what this is. But hybrid publishing, and for me, maybe. Again, I don't know. If I try and write those that cross-genre other soapbox book, and it doesn't fancy my agent's tickle, tickle my agent's fancy, then maybe I would look into self/indie publishing it, and then I would be a hybrid author. I don't know, that's a possibility, but for now, I'm focusing my energy on the traditional publishing. Having said that, I think you know where I'm at and where my head's at. If you have any questions about what I said or any input, you are more than welcome to comment below. I'm not looking to start a fight though. I'm like, again, I don't think one's better than the other. I think that every person's publishing journey is completely different, and I think that every single one of them is valid. It's hard to get into traditional publishing, and I think it's hard to do all the things for indie/self-publishing. I think both are hard in their own way. Publishing is hard, and I think that each one of them has their merit and difficulties that you have to know, and know how to navigate, circumvent them. So again, I'm more than willing to have a discussion below if you have any questions or just any comments or input or suggestions or anything. But again, I'm not looking to fight. I love all of you, and you're all amazing. So if you liked the video, slap that like button below. If you love the video, slap that subscribe button below, and I will see you all in my next video, because you're all lovely. I just kicked the tripod, so I love you all so much. Good night.